Let's continue with the analysis on the topic. For that, we have our next guest, Daria Korchemnaia, political scientist and expert at the Center for International Interaction and Cooperation. Welcome, Daria, to From the South.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Daria, my first question would be, what is your take on what is happening right now in Venezuela, the support that the people have expressed, as this is the fourth day of enlistment, and people we have seen on the images have come en masse to register to enlist in the Bolivarian National Militia and express their complete unity in the face of the U.S. threats?
Well, thank you very much for that question, because actually the reaction of the Venezuelan people that we see is an obvious reaction, and it's the only one and correct reaction that could be towards the aggressive actions of the United States. Because honestly, we know, I think not only we in Russia, but people all over the world, the analysts all over the world say that the Washington statements about fighting the so-called cartel of the suns are utterly unfounded. And this is a fabricated and cynical pretext to keep exerting pressure on the government of Nicolas Maduro Moras. And actually, the ultimate target of the operation, as we think, is the very principle of Venezuelan sovereignty and the Bolivarian project itself. And of course, the United States of America, as it's already happened several times, they keep sticking to that policy of gunboat policy, trying to suppress, trying to show and exert pressure to the people of Venezuela and to the region itself. And the main thing, the main objective of that, one of them, is actually trying to fear the people. And now what people should do is actually unite and strive to protect their country.
As you were saying, they were using this excuse of the drug trafficking to exert this pressure, but we saw the UN report saying that only roughly 5% of drugs that is produced in Colombia goes through Venezuela. Do you think that the US was expecting this strong reaction from Venezuelan people against the intimidation threats?
So actually, I think the US should have awaited that reaction. But the problem is that the United States of America and the new government of Donald Trump, they keep refusing to accept that the world has changed. They no more have the hegemony over the world, nor do they have that hegemony over the Latin American region in particular. The thing is, what we saw is a huge pushback, is a huge support from all over the world. So first of all, I would like to emphasize that the countries of the region united to back Venezuela and to condemn the United States of America's actions. So we saw some declarations of Miguel Diaz from Cuba. We saw some declarations from Mexico. And actually, not only that, this is just one part. This is the regional support that is super important in terms of the current context, because the region should stay united and choose sovereignty, not subordination to the United States. And another thing that we see is the international support from powers all over the world. So these are Russia, these are China, these are Iran and some other countries that strongly condemned the actions of the United States of America and called them the interference into the internal affairs of Venezuela. That is a blatant violation of the UN Charter basis.
You were referring to the international support, but not only in governments, we have seen the people as well have taken to the street all over the world, as today people in several countries are holding a day of international solidarity with Venezuela. And with all this outcry of international solidarity, both from governments and the peoples, what do you think is the role of international organizations at the UN that have remained silent to what is happening?
Well, actually, this is just one of the examples that are typifying that the world is changing. There were many, I would say, cases when the United Nations stayed silent in the view of some atrocities, in the view of some blatant violations of international law. This is no exception. However, I would say that this is not just a negative point, that's also a positive point, because as you have mentioned, it's not only the states, not only the governments, but also the people all over the world, the population all over the world actually came to support Venezuela and to launch some declarations of support. And that's actually a huge and very important signal showing that the world is changing and some new international organizations should arise that should be taken into account all the interests of all the states.
Thank you very much, Daria, for your time and your input here from the South.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure.